Welcome to Free Thoughts from Freedom Chiropractic and Rehab, your space for health, healing, and insights. I'm Dr. Chip Bleem, and this is episode number 54. If you find these videos to be helpful, please hit that subscribe button and join us each week for more free thoughts. We share simple ideas to help you move better, feel better, and live with more freedom. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of our community. It's time for our quote of the week. This week I've been thinking a lot about the concept of regret. Specifically, how much time we waste beating ourselves up for the things in the past that we haven't done that would have helped our health today. There's a classic quote from Maya Angelou that is the perfect antidote to this pressure that we apply to ourselves. She said, "Do the best you can until you know better. Then when you know better, do better." I love this because it's the perfect mindset. The typical American health-focused lifestyle expects you to be perfect from the minute you wake up until the minute you go to bed. It thinks you should always have the perfect diet and the perfect sleep schedule from day one. And when you don't, it makes you feel like you're a failure because you didn't have it from the start. Listen, remind yourself that you were doing the best that you could with the info that you had at that time. But now that you know more, we can do better going forward. In this clinic, we don't care where you started. We care where you're going. If you've been ignoring that nagging back pain, don't let yourself get stuck in the past. Now you know better. You know your body is sending a signal, and you know that being proactive is the only way to get better. This all reminds me of that old Chinese proverb. When is the best time to plant a tree? 25 years ago. When's the second best time? Today. So take the pressure off of yourself. You did your best yesterday. Now that you know more, let's do more today. Okay, let's talk about health. Specifically, let's talk about why so many of us feel like we're constantly failing at it. Listen, we live in a culture that tells us that we have to be dialed in and focused 100% of the time. We need the perfect diet. We need the perfect workout streak or the perfect posture. But there is a massive difference between perfect and trying to be perfect and trying to be optimal. Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar, who's basically the world's leading expert on happiness, tells us that there are two types of people. There are perfectionists and there are optimalists. The perfectionist views life as a straight line. They expect to be able to go from point A to point B in a straight line. And if they happen to hit a bump, or they go off course, or they just have an off day, they feel like the whole thing has been ruined. Whereas the optimalist, on the other hand, accepts that the path is actually a spiral. They know that there will be setbacks. They know there will be messy days. There will be detours. And to the optimalist, that failure isn't a catastrophe, it's just feedback. It's part of the rhythm of their lives. If we think about it like a light switch, perfectionists are an old school light switch, on, off. There's good or bad, there's nothing in between. Optimalists are less like light switches and more like dimmers. There's a lot of room between good and bad. And here's why this matters for your health. Perfectionism is a stressor. When you demand perfection from your body and you increase the physical wear and tear caused by chronic stress, you're essentially fighting your own brain. In this clinic, we don't look for the perfect spine. We look for a resilient spine. We want you to be able to adapt. Being an optimalist means you don't beat yourself up because you missed a day of your rehab exercises or stayed up too late binge watching Netflix. You just acknowledge that you ended one streak and you'll start the next one the next morning. So don't let perfect be the enemy of good. Your health isn't a destination you reach and then stay at forever. You choose a path and keep refining it until you reach the destination that you want. Always pick the spiral over the straight line. All right, now it's time for some good news. We've been talking a lot about social health lately in these newsletters, and a town in Ohio just gave us the ultimate masterclass on how it's done. This month, they celebrated the 2-year anniversary of their walking school bus program. Instead of parents idling for extended periods of time in an exhaust cloud in the drop-off line, neighbors take turns walking groups of kids to school on foot. They just hit a massive milestone. They've covered 10,000 miles walked. That's 10,000 miles of movement, 10,000 miles of kids actually talking to each other instead of staring at screens. And get this, the school reported a 15% jump in morning focus and a huge drop in local traffic stress. Listen, I love this because it's so simple. It didn't take a high-tech app or a massive budget. It just took a few neighbors deciding to be the village that our community needs. They turned a routine, mundane chore into a community win. Don't just sit around waiting for a program to start. Be the person who starts the walk. Success is how well we take care of each other,